Welcome to the session, 100% finance for your MBA abroad. So this is Damini here from VMEX Scholars, and I would like to speak on this topic for all the MBA aspirants out there. So yeah, so if you're attending this session right now, there is a probability, higher probability in fact, that you are either aspiring for an MBA for 2017 or 2018 intake, or you already have like admits and or on the verge of going for your MBA in 2017 fall intake. Yeah, so this information is for all the students, even those who are aspirants and even those who are at the very much last minute of arranging their finance. So yeah, so many of you might be worried on at this point about how do you arrange finance, because I know this is the situation when you have your I-20s in hand and you still don't know, oh my God, how am I going to arrange the finance, because you have to schedule your visa interview in the next month and yeah. So yeah, so we are here to resolve all your queries on how do you finance your MBA, and we're going to talk about mostly about the education loan options here. But yeah, 100% finance still sounds a dream, even though it's an education loan in your country. Yeah. So now coming to the topic. So MBAs are costly. We all know that MBAs are very, very costly, in fact. Yeah. So the average MBA fee in the US is about $60,000 to $100,000, which is quite at the higher end for a middle class family in any of the developing countries where most of the aspirants come from. Yeah. So but MBAs do change your future career options. You know, an average MBA earns double of what an average, let's say, after your bachelor's in business program you earn. Yeah, so the minimum you're going to earn is like double of that. So obviously it makes sense and it's a good career decision which you should make. And a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of you who are attending this session already have your work experience, already have work experience of 2 to 4 years, and then only the average is like when people apply for MBA. So it does give you a lot of contacts and networks when you go for your MBA program in another country, and it does teach you a lot of advanced level skills, so that when you come back to your position in your company, it is your growth and your prospects are much higher. Yeah. So there are a lot of companies who sponsor MBA for their employees, but generally it's not the case even in developing countries like India or China. There are a lot of people who still have to sponsor their MBAs on their own. Yeah, and I totally understand having $60,000 saving is almost impossible, even though you have worked for 4 years or 3 years. Yeah, it's quite difficult. Yeah, so because I have seen a lot of people in and around me who went for MBAs, and the thing which most was the biggest question or the biggest worry for them all the time was, you know, I'm going to write GMAT, I'm going to get admit, but what about finance? Yeah, because that puts a question mark on your face at that time. You know, how am I going to arrange $60,000 or $100,000? I mean, it's a huge amount. Yeah, so here we are to help you with that. So now when it comes to finance, yeah, there are different ways to finance your education. You might be aware of there are banks in your own country which provides you education loan or a personal loan which can be used for an education, or there are like private financiers. But every bank and every financial institute in most of the developing countries require a security. Yeah. So let me take an example of India, because I'm sure most of the people who are attending the session are Indians as of now. Yeah. So the security is in the form of, in India, the banks require security in the form of a fixed deposit or LIC policy, or shares or stocks, or it can be your property like your house or your land or your apartment which you can mortgage. Yeah. Now, this is a worry for a lot of them because they do not want some. Most of the times, they do not have this security. Yeah, because if you have a fixed deposit of this much amount, you'll just break it and take the money and go for your education, right? So hardly people have savings of that sort in the liquid security form. Now coming to the property, so people are worried that for their own personal benefit, because definitely there will be your siblings who might also be dreaming of studying abroad in future, or your parents might need a personal loan on that house or property, so you don't really want to do it for your own personal selfish sake, I would say. Yeah. So that's what is like most of the students are worried about. But here I'm going to talk about financing options without giving a security. Yeah, I know it sounds very good to be true. Yeah, but there are options where you can finance, you can take 100% loan on your MBA without even keeping a single penny on security with the bank. Yeah. So yeah, I'm talking about Prodigy Finance. So yeah, so as I quoted, Prodigy Finance is your angel now. So Prodigy Finance is a non-banking financial institute registered in the UK, and they had been providing loans to the people from last 12 years, I guess, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so they are a very preferred choice by people who do not have any security to put for the loan, and also the interest rate and also are very lucrative. I'm going to discuss that in the further slides. Now, how does Prodigy Finance works? Yeah, so these are alumni funded loans to build future leaders from their own alma mater college, yeah, or the university or the institute. Yeah, so it is good motivation for the alumni. So let's say if I have started in CE, and if a new student is aiming to enroll in NCE for that particular year, it's obviously, I know, okay, it's a life-changing experience going to NCE. Then okay, let me find education of, so obviously they have monetary expectations, but there is a lot of human motivation, I would say. Yes, it's not just investment in terms of just about my rate of return on that. Yeah, it's also about, it's my alma mater, and I know how I was, let's say, 10 years ago or 5 years ago when I was in a position thinking about how do I finance my education. And I'm sure all of you who are attending this session today are going to be probably giving back to the society in the same way 5 or 6 years later. Who knows? Yeah. So all the alumni who are funding or donating as of now are the people like you, and they have faced similar issues couple of years back. That's their motivation to give back. Yeah. So yeah, that's how Prodigy Finance can bring your interest rate so down, so below, like on the lower end of the market standards, because they are funded by alumni who wish to give loans to the future prospective students. Yeah. So now the key thing which I wanted to tell here is, I know I have personally done the research in how do the education loan process work in the top banks with Malaysia, like OCBC and other top banks, or the banks in India, public banks, like I don't want to name a few, but yeah, so you might know. So it's a lot of hassle to go and get a loan from there. Yeah, you have to visit the branch, probably the bank, probably 10 times maybe. Yeah, go get your offline application process, then go, then submit the process, and then they'll tell you you're missing these documents, you're missing 10 other documents. You go and give them 10, and then another day they'll call you after 4 days, you're missing another 2 documents. So it's a big hassle. Yeah, and most of the people, they don't know how to start from. as well, because banks, they do not respond to online queries on their website, and they hardly act on any of the online forms filled by their website, and most of the process is offline, trust me. Any bank in the developing country, I'm telling you, even though it says that process is online, come here, apply, there is a lot of offline interaction which you have to do. But in case of Prodigy Finance, it's completely hassle-free loan application, as I have written. You just go apply online. I have given the link here as well, which is prodigyfinance.com/get a loan. Just go there, fill in the form. It's a little lengthy form, because to give you a quotation, because it's completely algorithm driven. So to give you a quotation on what kind of interest rate we can charge you, or what kind of amount which we can issue you. So all these depends on factors like which particular degree program you're going for, which particular institute you're going to, and had you been working earlier, what are the employability chances, and how much you were earning before opting for this MBA. Yeah, so all those questions you have to answer in the form. Yeah, once you're done with that, once you submit the form, the average is 24 hours. Yeah, I mean less than 24 hours. So you will get an email saying this is the particular amount which we can fund you, and what is the interest rate we can. So it's all dynamic. Yeah, so there is no policy like fixed interest rate for, because see, people vary, and if you're going to, let's say, Kellogg Business School, or if you're going to a business school of a tier 2 university, it does really matter. Yeah, so your employability chances, we understand that it's going to be much higher if you're going to a top B school. Yeah, so that's how there is dynamic interest rate for Prodigy. So which makes a lot of sense to me personally, because not everybody should be judged on the same parameters. Yeah, so if your salary is going to be, let's say, $300,000 after your degree, and another student who is going to earn probably $100,000 after his degree, I'm not supposed to charge equal interest rate to both of those. Yeah, because your employability chances are different, and your repayment capability is different. So that's why I like the dynamic quotation thing, and it's all hassle free. Just go to the link, fill it at your convenience, at your ease, sitting at your home. You don't need to go to the bank, and everything will come to you in the email, and with the further steps, which how do you proceed on it, and it's completely online. Now, as I mentioned, the interest rates are on the lower end. So it's as low as 6.5%. It's sometimes even lower than that. But what I'm talking about is APR. So it's like the total cost to you if you're taking a loan from Prodigy. Yeah, so it's as low as 6.5%, which is definitely a dream number. Yeah, in any of the developing countries, this is like the number on the lower end. Yeah, I understand few of the Southeast Asian countries do have interest rate in this range, but the facilities which Prodigy provides you, and the 100% loan amount and all, you cannot get at this interest rate. Yeah, so that's another, I would say, the feather on Prodigy's crown, that this is a number which differentiates Prodigy from many of the loan providers in the market. So be it a bank, or be it any non-banking financial corporation or institute. Yeah, so from all of those, Prodigy has this very lower interest rate. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, you can get up to 100% finance. So in Europe or UK, the B schools Prodigy supports, I can show you the list, also post my slides, that what are the different schools which Prodigy supports. Yeah, so if you go to a Europe or UK or B school which we support, you can get 100% of your tuition fee. So yeah, so this is again, it's not possible. Every country, every bank has some margin money, but Prodigy funds you 100%. Yeah, and again, it doesn't require any collateral. But if you're going to the US, Prodigy not just funds tuition fee, but also living expenses, but it funds up to 80% of your total cost, which is your I-20 amount, tuition fee plus living expenses. And yeah, so the remaining 20% margin, you have to show us how are you going to fund the remaining 20. Yeah, but it's still like a very higher number compared to market standards, and up to 80% and 100% is like, obviously, yeah, it's a great figure. That's it from my side. And if you want to know more about it, you can go email Prodigy team at info@prodigyfinance.com, and also you can check. Okay, so and yeah, so and this is you can check the more details on vmexcollege.com. Yeah, and I guess Nikhil, the speaker of the session, who was not able to join us earlier, that's why I had to take it up. So Nikhil is here now. Yeah, so he will also provide you basic details on that. And anyway, I have. Yeah. So yeah, again, sorry for the information. So Nikhil will not be able to. He couldn't come. Yeah, as I that's why I took up the session. But I'm happy to take up any queries. Please comment below the YouTube chat. I'll be connected for another 20 minutes maybe. Yeah, so any questions you have about Prodigy Finance, I would be happy to answer. Yeah, and I know it sounds too good to be true, that 100% finance and an interest rate as low as 6.5, but I just want to you to go and give it a try. Just go to this link, as I have highlighted it on my screen, prodigyfinance.com/get a loan. Yeah, fill up your select your institute. Yeah, so there is one thing which you need to know. We only, as of now, Prodigy only supports top schools around the world. Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of you, and the tuition fee which I mentioned, 60,000 to 100,000, it's usually for the B schools which are very much at the higher end. But you can still just go to this link. You can check out which all universities are there. I'll just go to this link for you, and I'll show you how it works. Yeah. So this is the Prodigy website. Yeah, you can see on my screen. Yeah, just 1 second. I think you cannot see. Let me just do it for you. Just a second. Okay. So you can see this Prodigy Finance website, and this is the page which I told you, prodigyfinance.com/get a loan. So you just have to go there, select your school here. So any B school I can write, top B school which I can think of, which I told you. So I can Kellogg School of Management, Cali School of IR, or I can search. So I'm just searching random searches which I can think of. Cali School of Business, Arizona State University. Yeah. So you can see. So it's not just B schools. We support a lot of engineering schools as well. Yeah, so you can just search as per your needs. So let's say we support in the UK, London Business School. Yeah, so you can choose that. So as soon as you have decided on which school you want to go with, let me just select Cass School of Business. Yeah, so once I select on that, you come to this page where get a loan for City University Cass Business School. Yeah, so now you just click on apply here. You can see other benefits also as we have listed. No co-signer or collateral or guarantor required. Yeah, there is no upfront fee. And there is 6 months grace period after your program ends, so that you can start repaying after you have a full-time employment. Yeah, and there is no fee for early repayment, which many of the banks in your country, I'm sure, would be charging. You can confirm with them. A lot of banks charge you prepayment charges, but Prodigy doesn't. And you can get a provisional loan decision within 5 business days. Yeah, so whether you will be approved a loan or approved within 5 business days. And yeah, for this particular school, it says that they support only MBA. So you can select the program and select the department and see what all programs are supported under that. Yeah, and as it says, 100% of your tuition fee minus if you already have a scholarship. Obviously, we are not going to fund you that percentage. Yeah, so you can get up to 100% tuition fee if you do not have a scholarship. or you can get up to 80% of your tuition fee for part-time courses. And you have to take a minimum loan of 10,000 euros, sorry, pounds. And yeah, all the loans, the tuition fee part would be disbursed directly to the school according to the due dates. So Prodigy is aware of the due dates of your school, and that's how we directly disperse it. Yeah, and your loans are available in the currency where you're. So if it is US, it would be in USD. Yeah, so I just selected a university which is in the UK, so that's why it is saying GBP. Yeah, and as I mentioned, the average interest rate is 5.5 to 8.5%. 6.5, which I mentioned, was including that was like the APR. Yeah, so including all the costs which you have to incur to take this loan. Yeah, and repayment period. Yeah, so it can be repaid in monthly payments, and also grace period of 6 months, as I mentioned. That's called as the moratorium period or the grace period. So after your course, if your course is like a 2 years program, 6 months after that, until that time, you don't have to pay any EMI. Only after that, your EMI starts, which is again a very good option for people who do not want their family to repay, or they don't even want to be under the pressure when they are in the middle of their course. They don't want to be actually saving money every month and paying your EMI. So obviously after your course, within 6 months, you're going to have a job. So then you can start paying your EMI. Yeah. And the repayment period is either 7 or 10 years, depending on the program and application. Yeah. So there's no deadline to apply. It's available all around the year. But yeah, so you should keep at least 1 month before the loan is dispersed to your school, so that we can have the whole process done very quickly. So yeah, so almost all nationalities. Yeah, so 150 nationalities. You can just check the list of the nationalities here. Yeah, and that's it. So that's about Prodigy Finance. I'm hoping to see a lot of you on this link by, let's say, in the evening or whenever earliest, because I know this is the right stage. Yeah, I understand that part. You know, a lot of students are applying for education loan at this point, because May is the time when you have to apply for the education loan. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah. So this is about the loan, and yeah. So let me know if you need any help, and I'll be happy to help you. And as I mentioned, to get in touch with me, I don't know where are my slides. Just 1 second, and just a second. Yeah. Let me open my slides again. Yeah. Sure. So I think it's done. So yeah, I'm open to any questions you have. Yeah. So let me check on the YouTube session if there is any questions which students have on the session, because the session is going on, and just bear with me for a minute and let me figure that out for you. Yeah. So I could see this question which a student is asking that, 100% finance is like up to 100%. So what is like the average which you support? So as I mentioned, 100% is not, it's not a, let's say a fancy figure which we are saying here. We actually, Prodigy actually funds 100% to students. Yeah, so but it all depends on, as I mentioned, go to this link which you can see on my screen right now, fill your application, because it is very hard for me to tell, even if I know that you're going to this particular school, and if you ask me, okay, tell me how much you can fund me in this case, so I cannot tell it, because as I told, it's all algorithm driven. It's not a banker sitting on one end of the portal and deciding, okay, how much should be given to you and at what interest rate. Yeah, so it's all dynamically calculated, and the factors, as I mentioned, we consider sorry, the algorithm consider is your tuition fee, the course which you are going to, and your employability chances. That's very, very important. Yeah. So if we feel that you will be able to repay, even if you take 100% of the loan, there is no problem. You can get 100% of the loan. That's not going to be an issue at all. Yeah. So I hope I answered your question. You can just write it again if you feel it's not been answered. Yeah, let me take up the next question. Just a second. Yeah. So the next question says that, I already have my admit and I'm planning to go for the visa in the month of July. So do you think I have enough time for doing that? So definitely. Yeah, so I think you have enough time because as I mentioned, within 5 business days, as it is mentioned on the page as well. Okay, I'm just on it. Yeah, so within 5 business days, you will have decision on what is going to be your interest rate, how much amount we are going to disperse you, and as soon as you submit your documents for verification and everything, and it will be done in just like couple of days. Yeah. So then the amount will be dispersed to your university. So you have to keep. We ideally tell you that keep a 1 month gap. So let's say if your tuition fee deadline is, let's say, 30th of July, definitely we suggest you that you have to apply for the loan by 30th of June. Yeah, but ideally it doesn't take that much time, but that's like the time period which we suggest you to keep. So 10 to 15 days in general is more than enough to get the loan. Yeah, so that's it. One last question I would take. That is okay. So you support only few of this business schools, and my business school is not there in the list. So, okay, yeah. So I understand that you cannot see all the business schools here in the list. Yeah. So there have been few top B schools as well, which are not there in this list. Yeah, but we Prodigy team is continuously adding all those schools which make sense for them because they have to find the alumni who's ready to fund for that institute, and they have to gather a lot of information about the past year's employability chances and everything, so that their algorithm can actually decide what loan is to be given. So for a lot of the business schools, we do not have that enough information. That's why your information is not given here. Yeah, so your school is not given here, but very soon we keep adding institutes. As I mentioned, you can just go here and type your school, so you can see the school Grenoble, which a lot of students in Europe are opting to go for. So yeah, so for that also there is loans, and the list is always growing. Yeah, so don't worry on that part. So keep so maybe for 2017 intake, your institute might not be there, but if you or your friend or colleague is opting for 2018 intake or even for the winter semester, I would always suggest you to keep checking it because the list is very frequently updated on the website. Yeah, sure. So I think I have taken a couple of questions on the website. If there is anything specific you wanted me to answer, just feel free to write as a comment below the YouTube chat, below the YouTube video. I'll be happy to take it up later on my convenience. Yeah, and looking forward to see a lot of you applying for the loan today and or whenever earliest you can. And just to highlight, we also offer up to $10,000 scholarships. Yeah, so this is for students. So let's say if we approve you 90% of the loan instead of 100, we can actually give you the remaining 10% you can actually apply for the remaining 10% in the form of scholarships. So once you apply for loan, you're automatically considered for scholarships. Yeah. Sure. So that's it from my side, and go explore the website and apply for a loan. So that's it. So thank you very much for coming along for the session. And yeah, so without taking much of your time, so I'll just close it here. And if you have any particular question, write to me. And as I given the email ID also, info@prodigyfinance.com, you can write to that, or you can check it on vmakescholars.com as well. Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Yeah, bye-bye.